Welcome to Marketplace Africa. We cover the biggest economic trends impacting the continent. Now, this week, I want to talk to you about branding. So take a look at this logo behind me, MA. It, of course, reminds you of the show you are watching, Marketplace Africa. In the same way, companies are always looking for opportunities to use their brands to build awareness. Now, here's the thing. In Africa, some companies are actually doing this better than others. I want to show you what I mean, because Brand Africa has now released its latest list of the most admired, the most loved brands in Africa. Here's a look at the top 5. And what's interesting is that you have a South Korean company, Samsung, coming out on top, coming out as #1. And that's despite its massive sort of publicity setback with its Galaxy Note 7s catching on fire last year. So the question is, why is Samsung, South Korean company, emerging as #1 in terms of brand love in Africa? Experts are saying that customer service was the redeeming factor, but not very many African brands came out on top in this list. You have to actually go all the way to #9 to find the first African company. It's South Africa's MTN. They were actually #1 in 2015, just a couple of years ago, but Brand Africa says that legal disputes, particularly in Nigeria, have ended up hurting the brand. And only 15 other African companies made the list. Non-African brands claimed 84 of the top 100 spots. So it seems as though global companies are doing something right to endear themselves to African consumers. My colleague, Eleni Jokos, went behind the scenes to find out what exactly their secret is.
That's American R&B singer Trey Songz sharing the stage with various African artists.
I want your fragrance in my air.
The collaboration is entertaining, but pay attention to the branding behind it.
I can't take it no more.
As the many logos say, the show is called Coke Studio Africa, a creative marketing opportunity for Coca-Cola.
This space is called the Creative Village. It's one of the studios for Coke Studio Africa.
In Nairobi, Kenya, I had a chance to get a behind-the-scenes look at how the show is produced and also find out why Coca-Cola has attached its brand to this venture. Is this for profit? Is this to create awareness? I mean, what are you guys gaining out of this?
See, it's really important to connect with consumers for a brand like ours or for any brand, right? When you look at Africa as a continent, the average age is about 18 years. Music is such a key passion in our local communities, amongst our consumers, amongst African people.
The show teams established musicians with emerging artists from different countries and documents the process as they create songs for a live performance. So what do you guys get up to while you're here? Does any work get done? Or is it all party?
It's a mix of both.
Is it a mix of both?
We enjoy what we do, so...
The Coke Studio concept was created in Brazil in 2007. The Africa version started in 2013, and it is also produced in the Middle East, Pakistan and India. The broadcast, which airs in 25 African countries, on radio and online, is a platform for rising stars.
Coke Studio gave me a really big platform. So for me to be on a stage where the whole of Africa and probably beyond is going to be able to see my music was a big deal for me. It was crazy.
Della Maranga participated in season 1 of Coke Studio Africa's show, while Kenyan rapper Nyashinski was on season 4.
It's dope. Even like getting requests for collabos or to write songs for people in Swahili. So it opens up the whole, you know, like people who wouldn't know you necessarily get to see you.
But experts say Coca-Cola is not just nurturing talent, but also creating brand awareness on the continent, which is important even for one of the world's most popular companies.
If Coke doesn't spend the money, Pepsi will take the consumers. So they have to spend the money because they have to continue to build that relationship with their consumers. So what they're doing is they're now building equity, they're building affinity with that brand. And they have to do it because if they don't, other brands will step in. There's lots of small players in the marketplace now.
I don't wanna fight no more.
How much is it costing you to pull this off? I mean, studio time is very expensive.
It's costing us a huge chunk of our marketing budget. We're in studio for about 19 weeks, and there's a full campaign that goes around it.
The consumers own the brands, and they own them in their own private worlds, on their phone, on their laptop, in the visual experiences that they have. So the brands have realized now that I cannot anymore spend money on one big television ad and hope to connect with that consumer. I need to go directly to where they are.
Are you planning to monetize this in any way? Are we going to see concerts popping up across the continent?
I don't think our key objective is to monetize it. We would look at concerts as part of our marketing campaign for Coke Studio Africa, and also as part of providing access to these artists that they see on TV, that consumers see on TV. The whole idea is to make sure everyone listens to Coke Studio, everyone has access to African music.
The artists involved own rights to the original music created, but some say they gain much more from being a part of the show.
My baby, she got me going crazy.
You get so much value out of the whole experience. It's not about, I want to make money off this. Like, you have to kind of gauge and see.
Don't you know that yesterday was a gloomy gray, but today's okay.
It's not clear whether these performances will make more consumers thirsty for a Coke product, but Coca-Cola seems dedicated to bringing something refreshing to the music industry. Eleni Jokos, Nairobi, Kenya.